with respect to the Amravati murder probe. We are getting to know that after Umesh murder case, the police is keeping a close watch on the internet and social media. Remember, the Amravati city police has also appealed to the people to not believe in rumors and do not post pictures on social media. So the latest we are learning is that the police is keeping a close eye on internet and social media. We have Priyanka joining us for all the latest. Priyanka, if you could give us the latest on the probe into Umesh Kolhe's hate-killing probe.
Well, that's right, Samiksha. In fact, in the latest advisory that has been sent out by the Amravati police, they have made it very obvious that they are in fact keeping a track on the social media to make sure that there are no insightful messages or insightful posts anymore, because we had seen yesterday that it is in fact a very sensitive matter that is coming to light, and it is being investigated by the NIA now, and all of the accused in fact have been given the transit remand to NIA. But the fact remains that it is something that is hurting the religious sentiments of the people here, and that is why the Amravati police is making sure that there are no insightful messages, as we have seen earlier that these kind of messages had been circulating on WhatsApp groups as well, and those are parts of evidences, Samiksha, because those groups are also being scrutinized, those groups are being looked into as to who really had been present in those groups, and these are the people who had been members, had been posting several comments such as congratulating everyone over the revenge on killing the supporter of Nupur Sharma, that is Umesh Kolhe, the victim who died because of these 6 accused in fact who stabbed him in the neck and killing him in one swift move on 21st of June. So now that being said, the groups are under the scrutiny by the Amravati police and also making sure that no further such comments like the ones that the accused had been making earlier over the killing of Umesh Kolhe are made on social media groups. Because remember, Samiksha, we need to understand what really happens in Amravati, because even the last time we had seen that the riots had taken place, it was usually via WhatsApp groups that these people who want to incite mobs, who want to mobilize mobs and incite violence in the society, those are the people who had been using WhatsApp groups as well. So time and again we have seen whenever the situation deteriorates in Amravati, the police has been keeping a close eye on social media groups, now specifically on WhatsApp now this time, because this time as well these were WhatsApp groups that were being used to carry out this kind of a conspiracy. We know of 8 such groups at least that are under the purview of the investigation by the local police who are looking into how these WhatsApp groups were being used for conspiring how to kill Umesh Kolhe, how these 6 of the accused who had been carrying out this murder had been related to the key conspirator Irfan Sheikh. So all of that had happened via WhatsApp groups, which is why those are under the scrutiny by the local police. Samiksha.
That's right, Priyanka, and we also learned that the police, after this incident happened, the police was aware that this particular hate-killing incident was linked to the remarks that were made by the BJP leader, yet it was kept under the wraps. If you could give us more details on that.
Well, that as of now is political conjecture, as well as some parts of the investigation also hint towards it. There are several BJP member of parliaments, including Anil Bonde. Yesterday we saw in that Shraddhanjali Sabha that was to pay respects to Umesh Kolhe. All of these BJP leaders had gathered, and all of them had been saying the same exact thing. That there was a cover-up by the local police, by the Amravati police, but they had been under the pressure of the Congress leader, the ex-guardian minister, who also belongs to Amravati as well. And now these are the statements that were made by the BJP leaders. However, if we look at the statements that have been made inside of the courtroom during the remand of Irfan Sheikh, there have been several points that have been made with respect to how Umesh Kolhe's body had been found with gold chains around his neck and 35,000 cash in his pocket as well. So that also kind of links to the fact that it might not have been even a prima facie murder. So then why did the Amravati police say so? However, Samiksha, yesterday we were able to have an exclusive conversation with the Commissioner of Police, Aarti Singh, and she categorically said that we never said that it was a robbery. They're saying that we never, in the public domain, never ever said that it was a robbery. It was just a media report. However, there has been reports that there were police officers who had been saying that this was a robbery going wrong. That was the investigation or the theory of the investigation that they were going with since 21st of June till about 2 days back, when this entire case came to light as well. So what really had been going on during these almost 14 days during the time that the investigation was not going towards the track that it is going now, that it was in fact a conspiracy to kill Umesh Kolhe, where 6 people had been recruited, and there are reports now also suggesting that they were also given 10,000 per person because these were laborers who had been in contact with Irfan Sheikh and they were willing to carry out such a heinous act for 10,000 rupees. Now this is the primary reports from the police officers. However, we'll have to wait and watch what the NIA also investigates in the same.
Yes, Priyanka, if you could briefly talk to us about this WhatsApp chat also that has been accessed of the victim and the key accused.
That's right. We have accessed, in fact, several of the WhatsApp groups because, as I had been mentioning earlier, there were several WhatsApp groups that had been used for carrying out this kind of a conspiracy. There had been, messages on the groups about how to go about killing Umesh Kolhe as well. Now, there are reports also from the police sources that we have learned that there were at least 3 people. In fact, this had been mentioned in the Commissioner of Police's press conference yesterday, where she said that at least 3 people as well, they were known to Umesh Kolhe. To the fact that he had seen them around, there has been some kind of recce that was going on. There were some people who were following him for 2 to 3 days to learn his daily routine. So all of those, messages were being talked about in those WhatsApp chats. But the other chats as well that we have accessed. Now these prior mentioned, conversations that I was talking about were that from the Rebaria group. That is one other group that is being investigated, scrutinized right now, because all of the accused were a part of this group. Now the other group is that of the Black Freedom, in which Umesh Kolhe had been a member. Along with him, Dr. Yusuf as well had been a member as well. Now he was another counterpart of Umesh Kolhe. He was another doctor as well, and that's why they knew each other. But it was Dr. Yusuf who shared and reposted what Umesh Kolhe had posted about in support of Nupur Sharma. So that is how the entire post had gotten viral. And that is why Dr. Yusuf, in fact, is also in some of the groups where the accused had been present as well. So those are the line of questioning that the police is taking with respect to the conversations that went on in these WhatsApp groups. And that is why these are crucial pieces of evidences that the police and the NIA will go through.
Yes. Priyanka, also if you could briefly talk to us about, you've been on the ground getting us all those updates, talking to the witnesses also. Has the link between the Amravati case as well as this Udaipur killing been established so far?
Well, as of now, Samiksha, there has been no such link that has come out in the entire investigation. However, authorities have said that it is a prima facie investigation as of now, because the local police had only started with the theory of a conspiracy just 2 to 3 days ago, when they had mentioned all of these details in the remand of the accused, and that is how the entire matter came to light. But as of now, they have mentioned it in the remand because that might be one of the area of investigation. They're saying that they're not ruling anything out, and that is why they want to make sure that even if there is a link that gets established, they want to investigate that part as well. However, they don't have any pieces of evidences that suggest so at this point of time, but they have said that they will look into that part of it as well. And so for that investigation, they have bank accounts of all of the accused of Irfan Sheikh specifically, along with several of the accused as well. However, those were, as I mentioned earlier, were laborers. They did not have that much money in their accounts, but there are more scrutiny of the accounts that is being made of the Rebar helpline of the key conspirator, that is Irfan Sheikh, who had actually been running this helpline, and he had been in touch with all of the accused. So that part of where he was getting his funding from, whether there's an international angle involved in this, whether there was a financial trail between the Udaipur killing and Amravati, those parts will be investigated. But as of now, no concrete evidence that suggests this has come to light.
Yes, Priyanka, also for our viewers who are just tuning in, if you could once again talk to us about these WhatsApp chats, which will indeed play an important role in getting to the bottom of the case.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Samiksha, there were these WhatsApp chats, in fact, that had been talking about how the murder had to take place. Now, those chats have come with the digital evidence that the police had seized from Irfan Sheikh and from the other accused as well, whose mobile phones, in fact, had been confiscated, and there had been scrutiny of the conversations that the accused had been having. with other people, and what kind of conversation about the conspiracy of murdering Umesh Kolhe had been taking place as well. So those are being looked into, and also the WhatsApp groups that all of the accused had been a part of. Now, to reiterate, there were at least 7 of the accused that are in the custody of the in the transit remand now with the NIA. But now there is another accused that is on the run. He's absconding. His name is Shamim. His pictures also we were the first to put out. And he is in fact right now absconding, but the police is on the lookout for him as well. So they are trying to look at all of the accused who had been a part of this entire conspiracy and are part of these WhatsApp groups as well. Because another evidence that the police has gotten from Shamim is that he was also putting out such messages congratulating everybody about the killing of the supporter of Nupur Sharma, and that is why they had narrowed down Shamim's name as well. But just like Shamim, there are several other accused in these WhatsApp groups that were a part of these groups, and they were a part of these conversations about how it's a good thing that Umesh Kolhe in fact had been murdered, and that anyone who supports Nupur Sharma will meet the same fate. Now, that being said, there are also parallel investigations that are being carried out with respect to the threats that had been given to these people who had reshared this post for support of Nupur Sharma.
Yes,
and
Priyanka, just hold your thoughts there. Yes, I'm sorry, I'll have to interrupt you there. So, Priyanka, they're reporting from Amravati, getting us minute-by-minute updates on the hate killing reported from Amravati.